Good afternoon, this is Dr. Do again. This video is on alphabetic list of problems on letter D. Today I'm not going to talk about the specific disease, but I just like to talk presentations could be from many causes, many diseases, either psychological or pathological. So I'm talking about the delusion, delirium trauma, delirium, and also probably associated with another psychological symptom like hallucinations. So these are the altered mental status or the false perception of the world, or hearing or sensing the unreal voice or smell or the sensations. So is any situation associated with emergency? Yes. For example, delirium. Delirium is usually involved in the mental status altered either by medication or disease. For example, the late stage of liver or the end stage of kidney disease might have impaired neurological functions into the delirium and then coma state. Or the alcohol-related, either overdose or withdrawal, or can cause this delirium tremors with symptoms kind of very altered mental status, impaired the danger of life risk of life threatening. So these are the conditions need to go to the emergency. Or the hallucination, for example, hearing voices to hurt somebody or to hurt self. These are all the emergency situation. Even though it's not medical or psychological, still have this kind of emergency situation need to be aware and to notice and to bring to the medical care as soon as possible. So this is the emergency situation. None of these related problem associated with these three symptoms cannot be managed at home. They're all, even though psychologically, but still it's a disease caused those kind of different sensation or different sense or different mental status need to be treated in medical way or in the urgent or elective make appointment. So let's talk about the hallucination first. What is a hallucination? Hallucination is the sense something not exist, either voice or smell, or seeing something not exist. It's just the abnormal sensation. It's not objective but subjective. Sense something which is not real. For example, hearing voice, somebody telling me I need to go what place, or hearing the voice that I am good or am with the grandiosity, or I'm bad with the depression. So these are the psychological problem. Could be the real psychological problem, could be the medication caused or substance caused this hallucination. Or for example, alcohol also can cause this, and nicotine, etc., other medications or other toxic chemicals. So if this kind of situation occurred, has to see a physician. Which physician you should see first? I think this belongs to psychological problem. In terms of this, I think related to the directed care. You directed under the physician, either primary care or the subspecialist, like the CEO or primary care physician. For example, see your family physician. Your family physician diagnosed you have this mental, to exclude the real brain problem or chemical caused problem, then refer you to the psychological a psychiatrist to manage you, for example. So this is a hallucination. What is a delusion? Delusion is the wrong thought. It's a thought problem, thinking something not real. We all have those moments. Sometimes we're proud of ourselves. Sometimes we think we're not capable or not competitive. But those are in the normal realm, normal range. It is normal, not pathological. But the pathological delusion means it's the grandiosity beyond the reality. For example, I have seen this patient. He told us, he just, a lot of people are sitting together around this patient, and this patient said, I am the president of the universe. So this is the kind of the the delusion, the non-realistic grandiosity, and also thinking and also thinks that superpower carried along with this person. So this is truly psychological, or need to be managed by the physicians either. So if you notice this kind of situation, usually diagnosed or noticed by the people around this patient. So bring this patient either to the primary care, again exclude some pathological process, for example, brain tumor or any stage of disease caused the impaired neural function. Other than that, and then your primary care will refer you to the psychiatrist. So for the treatment. So this is also involved in the directed care under the physician, the primary care, and then direct you to the specialist. The delirium is could be psychological or pathological. For example, there's a coma state or pre-coma state can have this delirium, which means multiple, seeing different things or sense different things, mentally altered. It's not a normal mental status. For example, alcohol withdrawal or alcohol toxicity, seeing those things like not real, and with confabulations, which means make up words or make up sentences does not make sense with other to the others. This is and also have language or either expression problem or a comprehension problem. So these are all the alcohol caused delirium, tremor, and associated with tremor, especially alcohol withdrawal. So this patient is urgency to the emergency room, give the detoxification and vitamin B1 infusion to monitor the mental status and also the vital signs. So this is a delirium tremor. And in general, also other diseases can cause delirium, pre-coma state, and stage of kidney disease, and stage of liver disease, or a stroke, or a brain tumor, or even the increased intracranial pressure. These are all a cluster of diseases can cause this delirium. All of these pretty much really need to be cared as soon as possible, either emergency or at least urgency. Call the physician because it might go into the coma state. So this is a cluster of things we're on letter D. So I just brought this very similar conditions. Just need to differentiate either pathological or psychological or really chemical caused these kind of problems. So all of these really is education for not the patient themselves. They couldn't know, they couldn't realize this because they either have psychological impairment or mental status impaired. So that's why I brought this video for the people around those kind of patients. So if your family members, for example, you notice your parents or your father had this kind of alcohol problem, and suddenly he said, I see something, not real, or make some words, it doesn't make sense, and bring that person, either your cared person or your families or your friends, bring that person to the hospital as soon as possible. And the same idea as delusions or hallucinations, because the patient themselves do not know. Only the cares or the surrounding, the others can notice that. So that's why I put this video here, just in case you have this kind of, just in case it's relative to you or your family members. So you probably already know it, but I just, since we're on letter D, I just figure out to put here. Hopefully it helps, and I will stop here, and thank you for watching. I will see you next time.